Jasmine.
My name is Jasmine.
Okay. And what brings you here today, Jasmine?
Well, my sister has been perhaps on my case a little bit about seeing someone. You know how sisters are. Yeah. So. Yeah,
So
she
this is
thought-
your younger sister, older sister?
Well, she's my younger sister. We were adopted. So we had, we were both adopted and we were raised by the same parents.
So your sister asked you to come see a therapist. Is that?
Yeah, sometimes you just do things for your family.
Do you think she was concerned about something particular?
Do you know that song, Blue Moon?
No,
Blue moon, you saw me standing alone. Oh, it's a classic. That song was playing when I met my husband. So romantic. It was at a party in the Hamptons.
So you're talking about your husband. Help me situate you socially a little bit. Can you tell me
Socially.
where you are? Who do you live with? Where do you live?
Well, I suppose you could say that I'm in between places right now. Hal and I are going through a bit of a bumpy road, and we sold our penthouse apartment in Manhattan because Manhattan's just so noisy nowadays. So we got a little place in Brooklyn. I'm there, and Hal will be coming to stay with me shortly.
So that's a big. So you had a big change in your life. You seem to have moved from.
Otherwise, you just stay stagnant, right? Got to keep moving.
Got to keep moving. So I understand that you're in between places. What's the other? Where are you moving to? You were in Manhattan and you moved to Brooklyn.
Oh, yeah, but it's just temporary. Yeah.
And where's Hal, your husband?
Oh, he's all over. He's probably traveling in Asia right now. Yeah, he's starting a new business.
Okay. And where is your sister at?
She's staying with me in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, little sister time. Never hurt anyone, right?
Do you enjoy living with each other?
Sure. I mean, all sisters get into spats, right? She drives me crazy. I drive her crazy. That's normal.
What does that look like when she drives you crazy?
She just, it's not like when I was living in the penthouse.
Yeah, say more about that.
Well, there's so much to do and so many details. I've never been very detailed oriented. I like to see the forest. Oh. We had this beautiful house just like on the edge of the forest in the Alps. Oh, it was gorgeous.
You and Hal?
Yeah, for a second honeymoon.
It must have been nice.
Oh, beautiful.
So I want to come back.
I like to surround myself with beauty,
I want to come back. I want to hear more about this wonderful honeymoon and your married life with Hal. But I want to find out more about your family of origin. You said you were both adopted.
Yes.
What was it like? Did you ever know your birth parents?
Did I know my birth parents? I mean, how well do you know anyone, right? that song?
I don't. But I see that you've, this is the second time you've sung that song here.
Yes.
It must be something special for you. What
Oh.
does that mean?
Well, that's the song that was playing when Hal and I met.
Where did
so
you meet?
romantic. At that party in the Hamptons, silly.
That was the first time you met him.
That was the first time. Oh, yeah. All the women in the whole place were looking at him. But he chose me.
And what were you doing at the time?
I was working in a gallery, and I was working part-time. You know what? I'm going to go back to school. I think if I go back to school, and I can get a degree, and then I can just do whatever I want, you know? Yeah.
So let's go back to, we were talking about your childhood. What was that like for you?
Oh, childhood. It was pretty average.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we played outside. I don't know. You know, we went to school. My sister always trying to embody me, right?
What does that mean?
Well, you know how little sisters can be.
Were you close growing up?
Sometimes. Yeah. Sure. Sure. Why not? Yeah. Sure.
You don't seem sure.
Close. Yeah, we used to play together. It was such a long time ago. I can remember.
And what was your relationship like with your adopted parents?
Again, very average. Very, very average. High school, elementary school. I went to one semester of university. I studied the arts.
Did you like to study arts when you chose that field?
I always wanted to travel.
How does that connect to arts?
What is it that you're writing down?
Just some notes, so I'm able to understand your situation better. And
Situation.
you were talking about.
I'm not feeling well.
Oh, I'm so sorry. What's going on? What are you feeling right now?
It's hard for me to take a breath, you know? Sometimes it's hot, very hot in here. Do you have any water? Do you have any, you know what I would love? Some orange juice.
Unfortunately, we don't have any orange juice.
Oh, okay. Well,
But
maybe
we can.
for
I
next
can give you
time.
some water if you'd like.
well, maybe next time. It would be nice.
I see that we were talking about you having finished one semester of arts and we switched, and you seem to have a reaction talking about it.
It's
Tell
just,
me more about that.
you know, when you get into a relationship and you get married to someone like Hal, there isn't as much time for those things, you know, you have to decorate. It's not just one thing, right? There's the city house and the country home and all the staff, and it was just a full-time job. But I think I have some time. I have time now. So I think I will. I think I will go back to school. You know, it's important to know all sides of yourself.
What does that mean?
Well, you can't just walk around in the dark, you know. It's important, I think, to expand your horizons, to be a whole person.
And what does that mean for you to be a whole person? You feel like you're not a whole person right now?
Well, everyone is on a voyage of self-discovery. Myself included, of course.
And what would it look like to be a whole person?
More of the same, I suppose. I mean, someone, I'm sure, I can't remember the name of the fellow, but about it's not the destination, but the journey, right? So we're all on this journey, and I'm on mine, just like you're on yours. You know, even when I finish my degree, I won't be finished my journey. Maybe I'll do a master's degree. But regardless, we're all wandering around and you know, on our voyage of self-discovery, and you know, and the people that we meet along the way. And
So Jasmine,
Mhm.
is that your real name? Is that your birth name?
oh, I changed it when I turned 18. Yeah.
And what is it like for you to have this name, Jasmine?
Well, it's all that I remember, you know. I don't even remember what it means to have the name Jeanette. My name is Jasmine, and it's been like that for as long as I can remember.
So your birth name was Jeanette and you changed to Jasmine.
I never really felt like a Jeanette. It never suited me.
And what does that mean, not suiting you? How did it not suit you?
The name Jeanette, it was just so ordinary, right? Yeah. It didn't suit me at all.
How long have you been married to Hal?
Oh, I suppose 12 years? Yeah.
And do you have any children?
No, we decided that it wasn't the best course for us. I think that I can serve the community in other ways. Yeah.
So you have more philanthropic interests?
Sure, it's very important to share the things that you have with those that are less fortunate than yourself.
And who lives in your house? You said when you lived in the Manhattan house, was it just you and Hal?
Well, it was Hal and myself and the staff. You know, we had guests from all over the world at any given time.
And so when you moved to Brooklyn, which seems to be a recent move, how long ago was that?
About 18 months ago.
Okay. And what does this new place look like? Is it just as big?
It's very cozy. Oh, no, very, very cozy. The other place was too big.
And do you have the staff living with you now?
Just my sister. That's a joke. She doesn't work for me.
And what does she do?
Oh, what does she do? Do you know, I'm not even sure. Strange. I suppose I'll ask her when I get home. To remember to write that down. What does my sister do? How about that?
So when do you expect to see Hal again?
Oh, you know, the life of a businessman, right? I'm sure it'll be any day now.
Do you text? Do you call each
You
other?
know what? Let me just check my phone.
I would prefer that you don't use your phone during the session.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. I just like us to have a conversation that's sort of steady.
Sure. I'm sorry. How rude
It's
of
okay.
me. How
It's
rude
okay.
of me.
Not a problem. Do you have how do you maintain your relationship when he's away a lot, it seems?
Well, I mean, how does any couple do it, right? I mean, all the
I'm more interested
conveniences,
in
right?
your couple.
Telephone, email, fax.
How often do you talk to each other?
All the time. All
when
the
was
time.
the last time he called or texted you?
Oh, must have been earlier today. Must have been earlier today.
And he didn't tell you when he was coming back?
Well, he's not even sure, right? Life is so unpredictable. What is it they say? Life happens in between plans. Oh, sure, you can plan for everything, but
So I want to get to know a little bit more about your couple relationship. Um, how do you handle conflicts in relationship? What do you have a strategy?
we didn't fight very much. Yeah, very lucky. I have been very lucky in my relationship with my husband. You know, he's very calm, I'm very understanding. He's never been, the straying type. Homebodies, we would go from event to event. Show you you know what? I must have forgotten my necklace today, but just the other day he surprised me in the bath with this amazing diamond.
And
I must have left it at
how did you
home.
feel?
Well, you know what they say about diamonds.
So it seems like you have a marriage where you trust him,
Oh,
trust
completely.
each other.
Well, what do you have if you don't have trust?
Trust is important.
Trust is very important to a relationship, especially for Hal and myself.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sure. You see so many Upper East Side marriages end in divorce, right? I mean, my friend Shandel, she's on her third marriage. Bill's on his fourth.
And do you worry about
So
this
stressful.
for your couple?
No. Hal's not the type.
So I'm still not very sure why you're here today. I know you said your sister asked you
You and
to
me
come.
both. Yeah. You know what? Maybe I'll bring her next time. Maybe she
I'm
can
more
tell
interested
you.
in finding out what's going through your mind as you're sitting and chatting
Wow.
with me.
I've never been one for talking about myself, you know? I'm more interested in hearing about other people.
I sensed some distress when you made the phone call, and I heard that your sister in the background.
Oh, well, I
Um,
guess can
you tell me more
I
about
am,
the time you made the call?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you.
Oh no,
I-
I'm a mental health professional. You know, I'm in the business of working with mental health problems, and I'm
Sure,
wondering
of
what your
course.
state
Of
of
course
mind
you are.
was when you made that call. It seems like your sister asked you to call me, and she was present when you made that call.
Well, she was upset about something. Yeah, she was upset.
Can you recall
Something about
why?
her boyfriend.
Mhm.
Something about her fiance. That's right. He asked her to marry him, and she wasn't sure what she should do. And of course, she asked my advice. Maybe she didn't like what I said.
What did you say?
Well, I told her the truth.
Which is?
She's not getting any younger. She's not getting any thinner. But I mean,
So you
he's very plebeian.
I'm sorry, I don't know that word. What does that mean?
He's a commoner. What kind of a life is she going to have with him?
So I'm hearing that your message was to not choose that person as her fiance.
She needs to choose herself first.
What does that mean?
It means that in life, you need to make the choices that are going to benefit you and your future, like me and Hal. I knew that he was going to take good care of me. And he is. He's all the way in, must be Hong Kong. He's all the way in Hong Kong. I'm sure he's thinking of me. Blue Moon. Do you know that song, Blue Moon? It was playing the night that we met at that party. Oh, it was fabulous. You know, we ended up buying a house just 2 miles down the road. Hampton's neighbors are the best. People kind of, they just have a good sense of boundaries, you know?
Mm-hmm. And how do you like your neighbors in the Brooklyn apartment or your neighborhood?
Brooklyn. That is temporary.
You said that before. What does that mean?
You know, the taxis don't even go to Brooklyn. Ugh.
Why are you there?
Well, that was where my sister wanted to live.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to make sacrifice
so
for
let me
family.
understand. So your sister was already living there and you moved in with her, is that right? Or did you decide to
Well,
move?
she asked me to come stay with her for a little bit because she was at an impasse. Yeah, she needed some support, so
What
knew that
kind
Hal
of
was.
impasse did she have?
Well, I told you that her fiance asked
She was
her.
in making that decision.
Yeah, her fiance asked her to. Her boyfriend asked her to marry him. She's not sure what she should do. Hal, I knew, was going to be out of town. So, and we sold our penthouse, so I decided to stay with her for a little bit.
So what doesn't make sense to me is that you sold this big penthouse and
Yeah,
you
it was
moved
getting
in.
too big. You know, the way of the future is downsize, right? Who needs all that land? You know, I think it's better for the environment.
And where is Hal going to stay when he comes back?
Well, when Hal comes in, he usually stays at the W on Park Avenue. And because he's always back and forth. You know, starting a new business can be hell. So sometimes I stay with him at the hotel. And sometimes we talk about, you know, where our new place will be. We haven't decided yet. It's hard to find the right place. It's hard to find the right fit, you know?
Your file that I have in my intake says that you you've had a personal loss recently. That you've lost your husband Hal.
Well, I'm not, lost. He's in Hong Kong.
This must be very hard for you.
People need to travel for work. So, yeah. I can't believe you don't. It's very popular. What was the song that we danced to at our wedding? It was that Etta James song. Remember? At last.
Miss Jasmine, I just made a statement about your partner Hal.
Yeah, he was so handsome. Of course, I wore Vera Wang. That's how it is.
I'm sensing that this is very, very hard for you to come face to face with.
Well, it was, I had an amazing wedding planner. You need to hire help. You have to delegate. When you have a big task, you can't do it all on your own. You have to delegate. It's really, It's really important to delegate tasks. Otherwise, you just get completely
Are
overwhelmed.
you hearing me about when I talk about your husband's passing?
Um,
I know this must be very hard for you.
I don't.
I have.
What's going on? What am I doing here?
Your intake file says that you lost your husband, Hal, to suicide, and he was in prison when that happened. I'm so sorry for that. I'm so sorry that happened to you. It must be very, very hard. And sometimes our mind makes up facts to deny what's happening, especially when the truth is so much harder.
I can't find my necklace. I
Mhm.
just. Oh, I can't breathe. Where's my necklace?
Let's take some deep breaths together.
I had to take out. It was too tight. It was too tight. I couldn't breathe. I had to take it off. What did I do with it?
Okay. Let's talk about your hobbies. I want to know more about what you did in your free time when you were married to Hal. Your passions, your interests.
Well, our home was the talk of the town. You know we were in Architectural Digest.
I didn't know that.
Mm. Yeah.
Did you have a contribution in doing up your house?
Of
In decorating your
course.
house?
I mean, sure. Of course, I delegated, the technical things, but in terms of the artistry, I mean, it was signature jasmine, blue jasmine.
You seem very gifted in that field.
Well, I don't want to toot my own horn, but everybody knows.
And do you have a sense of what Hal does for his work? Are you ever involved in his work?
Oh God, you can't be gifted at everything. I'm very trusting. He asked me to sign things, I signed.
In what capacity? Are you a partner, or how do you?
Well, of course, we're life partners,
Mhm.
right? Everything is 50-50. But no, I don't have a head for numbers, business. He took care of that stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It seems like you trust him implicitly.
Oh, sure. He's my husband. I wouldn't have married him if I didn't trust him, right?
And this model of marriage, where you're sort of playing this role of the homemaker, which you seem to be enjoying and doing really well, and your
No,
husband
I
is.
wouldn't say that I'm a homemaker.
How would you define yourself?
A lady of leisure.
A lady of leisure.
Hmm.
So, was
That
this
is that's what I wanted.
Mhm. Was this
I
something
never
that
wanted to work hard.
your parents modeled for you? Is this how your parents' marriage was?
No, my parents worked hard.
Both of them?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
My mother had a head for numbers.
She did.
Yes. My father my mother had a head for numbers.
And your father?
Less so.
Okay. So they both worked hard, and they both tried to make ends meet.
Well, we always had, clothes on our backs, food on the table.
Mm-hmm. And are you close to them now? Are they in your life? Have they
My parents passed away.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Well,
When did that happen?
about my mother died when I was 23,
Mm-hmm.
and my father died about 7 years ago.
And how old were you?
They both died of cancer. You know, Hal used to say, live it up now because we're all going to die of cancer. Hilarious. He was hilarious. He's hilarious.
Did you find humor in what he said? Did you relate to that?
Sure. Well, you only get one life, right?
Sure. And what about your friendships outside of your marriage? How do you, who do you consider your best friends?
My best friend, his name is Jack. Last name Daniels.
I just got that.
I'm just joking. Well, the thing about Manhattan friends is they're a bit finicky. Yeah, when Hal was starting his business, wasn't always that easy for me.
Mm-hmm.
I guess my sister and I were pretty close.
The fact that you live together, it says something.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm hearing is that you were not able to rely on your friends in your time of crisis with Hal.
No, I suppose not.
And how do you describe that time?
Well, there was a time where I got a job at the Gucci store. Cheryl Feldman walks in. She pretended not to see me, but I know she saw me. Oh, I could have died of embarrassment.
What was embarrassing about it?
Wow. You know, I used to walk out of there with bags and bags, and then suddenly I was like measuring shoulder widths. It was not easy for me. I didn't last working there very long.
That was hard for you.
That was hard for me. I'll admit that was very hard for me. You know, you occupy certain roles, you know, in life.
Tell me more.
Well, you play the role of the daughter. You play the role of the sister. You play the role of the socialite. You play the role of wife. You play the role of mistress. You play the role of daughter.
And how do these roles relate to you?
And then you play the role of vagabond.
Tell me more. Is that how you
I'm not a daughter anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a home.
So you relate to the word vagabond.
There's something romantic about it, though, isn't there?
You tell me.
Like a rolling stone.
When you say you don't have a home, and you talked a lot about how much you gave this blue jasmine feel to your home. What does that mean to not have a home from that?
Now I'm free. Now I'm free. I'm free like a bird. Like a bluebird. like a blue jay. And I can do what I want.
So there was something holding you
I
back?
can
would
do
you
what I
say?
want.
Would you say
Who does
that?
she think she is? I can do what I want.
Who is this she you're talking about?
Who do you think? My sister.
Mhm.
I can do what I want. I am a grown woman.
Sure.
I am a grown woman. I have seen things. I have done things. She can't tell me what to do. Like she's an example.
What is this in reference to? What was she asking you to do?
What wasn't she asking me to do? Oh, and she doesn't even call me by my name.
What does she call you?
Jeanette.
And how does that make you feel?
Like, it makes me feel very confused because that's not my name. My name is not Jeanette. It hasn't been for a very long time.
So why does that make you confused?
Because, well, what's your name?
Sham.
Well, let's say somebody called you Daryl. Wouldn't you be confused?
So your sister knew you as Jeanette growing up.
Yes, but times are changing. Nothing stays the same. You can never step into the same river twice. You know who said that?
No.
Heraclitus. I should go back to school and finish my degree.
What would you major
I'm very
in?
gifted.
What would you major in?
Maybe interior design, maybe art history, maybe double major in psychology and art history. Philosophy. I've always loved philosophy. I'll finish my degree, get a job in a cute little art gallery. The new thing, think small. Doesn't have nothing. Things don't have to be over the top. Small. Like a boutique hotel. I
You
could
seem to
design
have a lot of plans for yourself.
I could design a boutique hotel in Soho. That would be fabulous.
Mm.
I've grown tired. I've grown weary. Can we stop?
Sure. I just want to ask you a couple more questions. Do you see yourself as a religious person or a spiritual person?
Not religious, very spiritual.
And how has that helped you in times of crisis, like the one you're currently going through?
It's been very helpful.
How so?
Well, being spiritual is very helpful because it keeps you grounded.
And in your case, how has that helped you be grounded?
Well, I have a practice. I meditate. I do yoga, Pilates, yoga lattes. So,
And how would you say your state of health is, like generally physical and mental health?
oh, I'm healthy as a horse. Oh, sure. I've always been fair. I'm sure, somewhere out there I must have very good genes. Very good genes. Very healthy.
That must feel nice.
Yes. Yeah. Sure. Yes. Very, very healthy. I have excellent genes.
And you mentioned earlier you not having a home. So I want to tie it back to your financial situation. How do you feel you're doing financially right now?
Well, okay. Things come in ebbs and flows, right? When I finish my degree and then once I design that hotel, I'll be soaring again. Oh, I'll be back on my feet before you know it, don't you worry. It's easy when you're healthy and you have good genes.
Do you ever worry about the future?
Oh, what's the point, right? Life's too short. Hal says, we're all going to die of cancer anyways, right? Blue moon. You should really listen to that song. Beautiful song.
I would definitely try do it. What would you say you're into? You mentioned your friend Jack Daniels as a joke, but I would like to know what is your alcohol intake per week?
Well, you know, it's nice to have a martini once in a while.
And how many times a week would you say that is?
Well, you know, a lady doesn't reveal all her secrets.
It would be important to know, since I'm a mental health professional, to know if that is
All right.
causing you some distress.
I don't know, maybe 2-3 times a week.
It's normal for people to take to substances to numb the pain when they're
All
going
right,
through crisis.
4 times a week. 4 times a week, okay. Jeez, you are good.
And do you take any other substances, marijuana, cocaine?
Marijuana? What do I look like, a hippie? Marijuana. I do not smoke marijuana.
What about other substances?
No.
Are you currently on any medication?
Well, I mean, just the one that my doctor prescribed.
Which is what?
Demerol.
Okay.
Sometimes I take Vicodin. Yeah.
Are you in any physical pain?
Not when I take Vicodin.
How many times a week do you take Vicodin?
Just when I need it.
On an average, any idea?
You know, sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Okay, so, but you take it a few times a week, perhaps.
No. Maybe once a week.
Okay. I just have, I know I said I have a couple more questions, but I will just finish up my interview very quickly.
I have an appointment after this, so.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. So why do you think you're, I guess let me rephrase that. I know that you were asked by your sister to come get help.
I would do it. You know what? The truth is, I would do anything for her.
You would do anything for her.
Sure. We're family, right?
Do you see yourself as needing help?
Well, everybody needs help sometimes, right?
Let's stick to your case right now.
No, I don't think so.
How are
No,
you?
once I finish my degree and design that hotel, I'll be back on my feet.
So, Ms.
In no
Jasmine,
time.
I would like to know, how are you coping with the recent death of your husband? It must have been very, very hard. I'm sorry to bring it up again. I'm sure it's not a topic that's easy to talk about. But I'm concerned that maybe you're not processing it, or you don't have the support system you need to grieve him and the loss.
I can talk to you, can't I?
Of course.
Well, we'll talk about it next time.
Sure.
Do you want to see me again next week?
Of course. Would you like to come back?
Would you like that?
I'm here, and you can always make that call. But we can fix an appointment for you next week.
All right, if you'd like, we can fix an appointment.
Okay, let's say I do.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.